Hey, it's Rob Fisher with Circle Track Magazine, and I'm here with Dalton Zier in his race shop in Port Orange, Florida. And we're getting ready for the UNOH Battle at the Beach at Daytona International Speedway, which is happening in just 2 weeks. And we've got some work to do today on the fuel system in our super late model that we'll be racing there.
So what are we working with?
We're working with 2 things today, Dalton. The first one is the fuel filter. And this is one of the latest and greatest filters out there on the market today. It's from FST Performance. And what makes it so special is the filter element will filter down to 4 microns. Plus, you can tell it's got an extra large capacity, which allows the filtration to pass right through, take all the bad stuff out of the fuel and not restrict any of the fuel flow.
All right.
The second thing we're going to be working with, which we'll get to in a minute, is our new ATL fuel cell.
Let's go ahead and go install this thing.
Let's get it done.
The patented zip tie.
Well, Dalton, obviously before we put the fuel cell in the car, we need a cage. And we've got one here, but can you tell us a little bit about how you built this?
Yeah, well, the first thing we did was we built the bottom structure and put the cell in the car. And what we did a little bit different about this is that we always try and make sure the tabs are a little bit further apart, which means that we measure the length of the cell. And then we add a 1/2 inch to both ends so that when you're sliding it in and out, the cell is not so tight that you can't get it in there. So anyways, the cage itself is a little bit bigger than the cell. So we built the bottom, put the cell up in the car with the bottom section, and we kind of visualized it all out, make sure it's going to fit. Then we take it back out, put it on the bench, and we build the sides. The sides here come up just to the bottom of the cell, which we'll show later in the video. And we bolt all the way through it from the top of the cell through to the bottom. And that keeps it from sliding left to right. It's a real snug fit, so it can't, you know, in impact, it won't come out of the car. It's going to stay in this cage no matter what, one of the same piece. I mean, with 22 gallons, that's roughly 133 pounds of fuel.
It's a lot of weight in the back of the car.
Yeah, so I mean, we got 4 1/2-inch bolts holding it in the car, and then from there, the cage will stay with the cell.
And those are grade 8 bolts, right?
All grade 8 bolts. You don't want to compromise on this stuff. I mean, safety's important. So I guess we'll go ahead and put it in the car and show what it looks like.
Well, let's get to the next step.
Make sure that we put it in the right way. These things aren't symmetrical.
Which is a key point.
Yeah. So.
That was the lightest 132 pounds I've ever had.
Well, it's empty. And I was lifting it all.
Actually, you know, ATL does make it awful easy on the racer because this thing comes fully assembled.
Yeah.
So you don't have to actually,
I mean,
do anything. You just jump right in and build the cage. And
really, all the cage is something that holds all that fuel.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that, I'm sure ATL has built all the impact safety into it already. So all we have to worry about is making sure the fuel is not coming out and popping. So it's up. Rob, now that we're all bolted to the cage, I think we're ready to put it in the car.
Sounds good. Let's go.
Yeah. I got that back. One thing that we want to hit on before we install it in the car here is this top. And the top connects the 2 sides together, so it structurally makes the sides stronger, obviously. But in the event that you do roll over and you need these flapper valves that ATL has installed, we're going to want this as well, because we don't want the cell just dumping out on the ground or ending up in somebody's lap, which has happened in wrecks in the past. So we put this top in here just like the bottom. It'll keep it from coming out and just keeping it solidly intact.
All right, Dalton, now that we have the fuel cell in the car, there's only 3 last things to do. The fuel pickup, the vent tube, and the fuel fill. You want to take care of that? I'm going to go get a quart of gas and we'll see how good this fuel pickup really is.
All right, sounds good.
There's one more thing that we wanted to tell you. If your series or track has a lumpy-headed tech official who's always questioning whether or not you're in compliance with his rules, ATL has given you the proof right here with this certificate of compliance. This shows the date of manufacturer, the serial number, and the model number of your new fuel cell. So you can go to him and tell him, look, I've got your proof right here, and there'll never be any question, at least about your fuel cell.
Now that we put a gallon of fuel in it, we're going to see how good the fuel pickup is. We've already primed the motor. Now we're going to see if it fires up and goes. As you can see, ATL is on top of the game when it comes to fuel pickup.